Hello, hello, and welcome to your weekly reading. Thank you for joining me. So, whereas the monthlies kind of give you a story for your month, these weeklies are kind of meant as a how-to. So we're going to jump right in. Let's talk to Aries. Hello, hello, Aries. How you doing? Happy to see you. So we're going to pull a card for the overall energy for this week for Aries spirit. This coming week, what are my Aries sun, moon, rising, and dominant folks? Wow. Aries card. Give me a second here, Aries. Now, Aries, your persona. How are you showing up this week? Which gifts are on display? And what kind of behavior is required for you to show up in the best possible way this week, Spirit? How is Aries interacting with this energy? Beautiful. And what about money, work, projects, budgets? What about that earthly realm for Aries this week? Gorgeous. And how about the mental realm? Aries headspace, the realm of the sword, Spirit, the realm of thoughts and communications. What's it looking like for Aries? Getting things in order. Getting things in order. Like to see it. Okay. What about emotionally, Spirit? The heart of Aries people this week. What is happening in the realm of feelings and relationships? Okay. And finally, what about their energy? How is their energy, their fire showing up this week? And how do you want to direct it for their highest good? This is a really beautiful spread. So, your overall energy for the week, right alongside your persona card, the Emperor. And you show up, Aries, as the Knight of Cups. Knights are agents of change. They are in transition. And the Knight of Cups is about opening your heart. It's about asking for what you want or inviting someone to what you want to give. So which side of that are you on this week? Is there, Spirit is saying olive branch. So for some of you, it could be something like that, where it's like, you know what? I want to make a shift in the way that this relationship feels. I'm going to change my approach. That's the other phrase that I'm hearing. So, like, I'm going to soften my approach. I'm going to change my approach to a little bit of an open hearted one. And to see that open heart protected by this Emperor energy. Emperor, we love to see it for Aries because that is your card. That says you're in your element, you're, quote unquote, in control. The Emperor is all about structure and rules and organization and how you are allowed to show up the most powerfully. That is what Spirit is saying very specifically. So when we think about things like perhaps your habits, routines, rituals, workflows, how can those things allow you to show up in the best and most fruitful way? And something Spirit is saying is, if you're ever wondering whether, um, if you're feeling a wavering or a lack of devotion to certain rituals or routines, it's not an original observation, but it's like, what is your why? If I'm thinking, for example, oh, I need to meditate, it's like my morning routine, I have to meditate, I'm supposed to meditate. That's not a great why. But if I remember that the reason that I want to meditate is to be an even more powerful witch psychic medium, it's like, oh, you know what? I could buy 10 minutes. So, you know what I'm saying? So think about your rules and organizations and workflows this week. It feels like they're working great. So if anything, it's like reflect and maybe soften your approach. Things look fantastic. 10 of Pentacles, financially speaking, there's security, there's flow, there's plenty, and there's protection. 10 of Pentacles is also a card of familial ties. So, of course, we just came off of Carbs Giving. You might be still hanging around family or just coming off of that feeling of like, isn't it nice to have us all maybe even just in the same Zoom room together or in the same group chat together, even if you didn't get to be under the same roof necessarily. But it seems like you are protected. It seems like in the financial and work realm, nice and steady. I mean, as good as it can be. If you are worried about money, don't be, because it's like, everything that I need, everything that I need is here, not just for myself, but to share with the ones I love. So again, looks like the workflow Emperor stuff seems to be going really beautifully. If anything, it's just there's some zhuzh. There's some zhuzh you can add. So, in the mental realm, the headspace, love to see it. Another 4. The Emperor is number 4 in the major arcana. And 4 of Swords is a very calm headspace, getting our thoughts in order. So, these are general readings, of course, Aries. And as I said, this calm headspace, Spirit jumped in and was like, well, not all Aries will be experiencing that calm headspace. For some of them, it is a call to create that kind of calm. It's a call to kind of empty out your mind and then be able to get the bleh into order. So, for some people, journaling works really well. For my Aries people, I'm a fire rising myself. Sometimes writing takes too long. Sometimes it's better to just turn on the camera or turn on the voice memo and talk to yourself literally and just like bleh, get it all out. Get all the things that you're thinking about or worried about or stressing about out onto the paper or the screen or the voice memo or the camera or whatever, and then hear it back, digest it, integrate it, parse it. That's what I'm hearing. So it looks like this is a great week to get really clear about like, where is my head at? Okay, this is where I am. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. This is working. This is not working. 4 of Swords is also a card of rest and recovery. So again, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords. These are quite restful cards. Even the Emperor is resting on a throne. He's at ease. Even the Knight of Cups, despite being in motion, it's again that soft, inviting motion. And speaking of soft and inviting, look at that. In the emotional realm, here is your cup. Here is arrival. Again, for some of you, olive branch. You might be the one extending the olive branch, or you might be on the receiving end of someone sending you a message that you've been waiting. Like for some of you, it feels like a long time for, and for others of you, spirits, like it may not be a long time, but it feels like a long time. Even if you're just waiting like a week, where it's like this person said, I need space, or I'm figuring out my head, or whatever, and then they reach out to you. And it feels like, for some of you, yeah, Spirit is like bringing up this 4 of Swords right alongside that 8 of Cups and say, or I'm sorry, that's an interesting thing to say, that Ace of Cups, because there's like it's over, but it's peaceful. Like, oh, okay. Kind of like closure is one of the things that Spirit is saying. So some of you might experience a form of closure. And here's a reminder that oftentimes closure is something that other people may be unable or unwilling or unaware that they even need to give us, and that we can find a way to close that cycle for ourselves. I don't know how many of you the phrase is coming up, so I'm going to share it with you, but like stress cycles, and how we can close stress cycles on purpose. If we have to, this is what Spirit is showing me. If we have to send a letter or an email or a text that is, anxiety provoking, even if it's not a conflict related kind of thing, whatever. If we have to write or send something that's really stressful and we know we're not going to get an immediate response, but it's like, I need to extend this invitation or this, whatever this is. I send it. And now I could just sit here having sent this email or sent this text or whatever and like twiddle my thumbs and let the the energy of like, what's going to happen run through me. Or I can go complete the stress cycle by doing something like 20 jumping jacks or going for a really long walk where it's like my body gets that feeling of like, oh, we finished. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Rather than letting everything stay inside. I think you're going to do it. I think I can count on my Aries people to find a physical discharge for that energy. So finally, when it comes to your energy, 2 of Wands, seeking new adventure, and some of you are seeking healing and seeking wisdom. I love this particular deck that Spirit was actually like calling for me to use this week, because this, and we'll see if any of you watch these whole videos, let's see if the Hierophant shows up later, because you'll be able to see it illustrated that this, as it turns out, is the Hierophant. So seeking that wise teacher or that wise institution or institutional kind of guidance or approval, universities, churches, government. These are Hierophant things, right? So it's like I'm seeking that power, that organization that can help me expand as opposed to working underneath it. Okay. So again, for some of you, that's the way that like education can expand our horizons and our options. I'm just hearing that for some of you. It feels like completion and initiation this week. Closure, which allows the space for something new to begin. Love to see it, Aries. What do you know? Share. Let me know. Comments, questions. Do you already see where this is rhyming or resonating? I appreciate you. Okay. Now, let's talk to Taurus. Fixed Earth, my Taurus sun, moon, rising, and dominant folks. What do my bullish friends have going on this week, Spirit? What is the overall energy? Beautiful. Pick up and show you in just a second, Taurus. But first, we got to pull your persona card. How is Taurus themselves showing up and interacting with this overall energy, Spirit? How do you want to show Taurus to show up for their highest good? Gorgeous. Now, what about money, career, budgets, projects? Taurus favorite things. How are things looking for Taurus? In the financial realm, the Pentacles realm, the here on earth every day. Gorgeous. Okay. And what about their headspace? Their thoughts, their words, their communications, Spirit. How are things looking in the realm of swords this week for Taurus? Interesting. Okay. Now, what about the heart? The emotions, feelings, relationships, Spirit. What does Taurus need to know when it comes to the realm of the heart this week? You have options. Okay. And finally, what about their energy, their fire? How high is that fire and where is that energy being directed? Really beautiful energy, Taurus. If you want it, you can have it. There is a matter of how you remix your energy and where you choose to focus it. So let's talk about it. Here, the overall energy and theme for your week, the Magician. The Magician is manifestation. The Magician is brilliant idea followed by inspired action. The Magician is also letting you know you have everything that you need. Every element is on the table before the Magician. So sword, wand, cup, pentacle, anything that you could need. Now it's just a matter of how you do the recipe. And that's how Spirit is putting it. They're like, a Taurus can understand a recipe. It's like, ooh, that's a little too many swords. Let me pull out a couple of these swords because that's not helping whatever my big, my desire. You know what I mean? Okay, and now Spirit is saying, we underestimate the power of setting intentions. Such a simple thing of saying, you know, I'm watching this video, I'm getting this tarot reading, and you know, the energy appears to go like this. So what I'm going to do is now say, you know, what I would like to experience this week is me at my most creative and intelligent, and I want to see that reflected back to me in the world, whatever. Or I want to show up as a leader or whatever. Okay. Setting an intention for your week, refreshing every morning, that intention, refreshing every night, that intention, because you know that which we put our energy and our thoughts into, it reflects back to us. So I'm just saying, this looks like you want something new and exciting, and you might manifest it this week if you are willing to consider your various talents, the various kind of mosaic pieces that create the full picture, and remembering that you can move those mosaic pieces around and create a new picture. That's what Spirit is saying. So beautifully, you show up as the Queen of Cups this week, a reminder that there's no gender in the tarot. This isn't about sex and gender. This is about a personality type. So cups, heart-centered, emotionally, very intelligent with the Queen of Cups. And what separates a queen from a king, it's like queens are creatives and kings are conquerors. So kings demonstrate to the outside world everything that they're doing. Queens are very much involved in their inner world. And the Queen of Cups is reflecting on all of her feelings. She's highly emotionally available for others as well. And I do feel that some of you will be showing up in kind of a nurturing capacity. Some of you are mothers, fathers, parents, or just caretakers. And I see you showing up beautifully in that this week. And Spirit is using the word poignant. Some of you may be saying like seeing and then saying goodbye to family. Of course, it's around the holidays, right? So beautifully in the realm of money, work, budgets, projects, Ten of Pentacles. Plenty of money and plenty of protection, plenty of security. Um, very steady. Taurus loves a nice, steady financial energy. But when Spirit was saying that you might be experiencing this kind of like this wonderful, beautiful moment, and then that poignant, like, oh, Spirit is saying the cost of love is grief. So for some of you, any of you that are dealing with grief, again, it's the point of the season where some of us might be missing someone for the first time or for the 50th time. And there's a poignant, heartfelt, I mean, you're the Queen of Cups. So if you are noticing, if you are feeling, Taurus, I would say don't avoid those feelings. Just to just to show you why I've been prefacing this so hard. In the realm of your headspace and of your thoughts, we have Three of Swords. So sad thoughts or thoughts of feeling a little bit separate. Again, Spirit is saying with some of you, it's as simple as like, oh, my family or my kids came to visit and then they're leaving. And it's poignant. It's like the cost of love is grief. And for others of you, like they said, it's even more acute than that. And it really is like, oh, the loss of my parent or the loss of my family or friend or partner. Kind of resonating and memories coming up. And with the Three of Swords, I just want to say, don't try to wall off those feelings. You're coming through as the Queen of Cups. The feelings are going to be there. The Queen of Cups is willing to be in deep reflection. She is not scared of her feelings. There's a reason why her throne is always pictured at the edge of the ocean. The waves are going to come, and the Queen of Cups is very comfortable with that. It's like that's a natural thing. Life moves in arcs and cycles, and the wave sometimes will overtake me, but I'm never going to fear that I can't get through it, because I know that the same way that the wave will come over, the wave will recede. So when those feelings come up, let them come up and come out. If they need to come out in tears, if they need to come out in, pounding a fist on a innocent table, let your feelings move through you. Don't try to bank them or be staunch or be strong. That's what I'm hearing. So in the realm of emotions, Seven of Cups, your heart is in many things. What do you want to, Spirit is coming back to setting intentions. If you could have an emotional response this week, what would you want it to be? Meaning, like, if you have always wished that, you would get some type of acknowledgement from someone or whatever, it's like, set the intention. That's just what I'm hearing. Ask for what you want is also what I'm hearing with the Magician. So some of you, it's like you have a great idea and maybe you're just like holding it in because you're not sure if it's welcome. Spirit is saying it's welcome. So if you've got a pitch or you've got an idea or you've got a request, I feel like you're in a good position to make it. Don't, Spirit is saying, don't hurt your own feelings. Don't hurt your own feelings by deciding like, oh, that's not going to happen or that's impossible and therefore not reaching out for it. Go ahead and reach out for it. And Spirit is coming back also to, what is your why? Think about what it is that you want. Go ahead and fill in the blank, Taurus. What is it that you want? And then why do you want that? And go deep like a Queen of Cups would. What I want this amount of money. What do I want it for? What is that like? And you may come to, oh, I want it because I want this, 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 and it's very aligned and it's correct. And you're like, yes, I can stand in that. I can shine in that. Or you may come to, oh, these are kind of like, maybe I got into my head that I need to have a 6-figure entrepreneurial business because that was like the like social media trend for a long time. And now I've come to a place where I was like, actually that is not or was not or will not make me happy. So let me make sure that I stay aligned with my actual why. You feel me? It's like not continuing business as usual. going ahead and like reflecting on why I do all the things that I do, and making sure just that I'm pouring all my beautiful, ample energy into things that are actually going to be like, yes, I'm so glad I poured into this cup because it's so good. Feel me? Okay. Check in with your emotional satisfaction this week and make sure that you're going out of your way to pour into your cup. That's what Spirit is saying. Now, beautiful card to complete your reading. Your energy this week, Four of Wands, another happy family card. We love to see these next to each other. This is a very good sign that you have been or are continuing to spend time with the people that you love most and wish to protect most. Four of Wands is also celebration, and Spirit is using the word, for whatever reason, commemoration. So some of you may be commemorating something. For some of you, that could even be the commemorating of a loss with that Three of Swords. For others of you, it's like maybe someone's getting married, maybe someone is pregnant. It looks like very happy news. And I feel like you, Taurus, will feel proud of yourself. Very proud of yourself by the end of the week. The potential is there. The action is up to you, but 100%, if you want it, go and claim it. Okay? Okay. All right. I hope that that helps, Taurus. And as always, if you have questions, comments, stories, I would love to hear how this is rhyming or resonating, or what kind of questions it's bringing up for you. And I appreciate you. And now let's talk to Gemini. My mutable air sign friends. Gemini, want to know what the overall theme and energy for this week is for my Gemini sun, moon, rising, and dominant people. Okay. Spirit is using the phrase on top of it, Gemini, on top of it. Now, what is Gemini's persona this week? How is Gemini showing up, Spirit, and how would you guide them to interact with this energy for their highest good, their greatest chance at abundance, joy, fulfillment, peace, love? We want to look at money, work, budgets. How are all the Pentacles things looking this week for Gemini? What do they need to know for their highest good? Okay. And what about their headspace, their thoughts, kinds of words they're hearing and speaking this week? What is going on in Gemini's own realm, the realm of air, the realm of the swords? I feel like you're making a really important choice, like initiating something. Okay, don't worry, we'll pick up all your cards and show you in just a second. So the heart space for Gemini spirit. What's going on in the emotional realm for Gemini? Okay, and finally, what about their energy, their light, their fire? How is their energy feeling this week, and how is it being directed? What's going on in Gemini's life? Where are they pointing their wands? How are they using or experiencing their fire this week? Wow. Goodness gracious. Okay. Be very open, Gemini. Wow. Okay, Spirit. Okay. Take this with the love that it is intended, Gemini. Spirit is saying overall energy and theme, the Emperor, you're on top of it. You know what you're doing. You've got the world in your hands. And please, for your own sake, for your own good, for the most glorious outcome this week, do not act like a know-it-all. Spirit does not mean that with any shade. It's like Geminis do know a lot, like either a little about a lot or a lot about a lot. Okay. And that works in your favor most of the time. When you show up as a page, when a page is your persona card, that is a time to be very open-minded. That is a very, like, and especially with the Page of Cups, open-hearted. Like, you know what? I don't know how everything could go. Yes, a Gemini likes to calculate this, and then this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. It's a gift, right? You can run down this long ass corridor of many options and possibilities, and Spirit is showing me those logic trees for some reason. I don't know if any of y'all use those, but Spirit is showing me one. Like, if this, then that, if the all the way down. Like, if any of you saw the rehearsal with Nathan Fielder, that's kind of what they're talking about. That's funny. Okay. So even though you're right on top of it, even though you are coming off as super powerful, I feel like you're creating something. A lot of you, like, creating workflow, creating a project, laying down groundwork. It looks really good. I feel like you're at a hinge point, some of you, with this, like like I need to make this change or this decision, and then things start moving. So some of you are initiating like a new phase of life, a new project. um it feels like you're considering how you want to allocate all of your various resources: my time, my effort, my energy, my money. And some of you, it's spirit is being very clear where it's like you may come up with, when I'm doing that equation in my head, I come up with, I would rather, maybe for some of you it's like, have less money and have more freedom, like more creative freedom. That's just what I'm hearing for some of you. So to come back briefly to this Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is very open-hearted, even for some to the point of naivete. The Page of Cups is willing to believe, and they're willing to, Spirit is being very Dr. Seussian right now, because they're willing to believe, they are available to receive. Meaning, for those of us who think something is totally impossible, we never pursue it, and thus, self-fulfilling prophecy, it is impossible because we didn't even go try to be an actress in LA or whatever the fuck it is, right? But if we open ourselves to, it could be possible. If we open ourselves and be a little vulnerable, where it's like, oh yeah, it may or may not happen, but I really wish for this. Be open, I would say. And I would say pursue and allow yourself to be open to receive by not cutting yourself off from a possibility. I'm hearing also the phrase where, yeah, Spirit is like, dream bigger. You're on top of it. You have what it takes. If you're asking yourself if you have what it takes, you have what it takes. So when I said that you're thinking about allocating your resources, money, time, energy, in perhaps a different way, Seven of Pentacles. What's working? What's not working? Where could I spend a little less money and pay off this debt, or invest in this class or this course or this thing that is going to help me grow? It's kind of taking a step back, taking a conscious pause, gaining some clarity. Over here in your headspace, Ace of Swords. We'll get there in a second. Consider how you structure your life and where you could lose a little of this to add a little of that, or vice versa. Spirit is saying for some of you, it'll be addition by subtraction. Like, I really don't need to be doing this. This is not, yeah, so Spirit is saying, like, for some of you, it's like a throw money at the problem thing. This won't be true for everybody, but for some of you, it's like, I am spending hours every week doing like laundry or doing something like that, where I could just take it somewhere, drop it off, pay a fairly small price, and gain all of those hours to put toward this project that would make more money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whether or not that applies to your actual life, the principle is the same. Is, if I do a little less over here, I can do probably a lot more over here. Feel me? Consider how that applies for you. So, Ace of Swords, your headspace, a nice, clear headspace, and Spirit is saying, clean slate, tabula rasa. You have a big idea. That's the other thing Spirit is saying. They're having my eyes really notice how giant this sword is, and Spirit's like, that's a big ass idea you got there. And now you have to train to wield that big idea. It is completely within your control. It is totally possible. What is your workflow? What is your, again, how are you allocating those resources? The Emperor is like the CEO. If you were to wake up tomorrow and, possessed by the Emperor, quote marks, possessed by the Emperor, what would you change in your life immediately? Like, oh, this is sloppy, or oh, this isn't working, or oh, this is a waste of energy or time or money. Play that little role play game with yourself. If I were the Emperor, I would change. Okay, that's some homework for you. Some fun homework, ideally. Emotionally, Four of Cups. I really love this particular deck, this Mythic Tarot deck. This scene that is being depicted here is a scene from the story of Eros and Psyche. I won't belabor you by telling you the whole story, but something really wonderful is happening in the life of this girl in the center. But in the story, she has two sisters who are envious of where she is in life. And so they are whispering all these doubts and insecurities and fears into her mind. Some of you may be experiencing that directly. That's just what Spirit is saying. Uh, where friends or people that you love are like, I don't really know if that's possible for you. I don't think that happens for anybody, actually. Maybe you're just being a little bit too blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Spirit is saying, keep a clear mind. And this may be a theme for all the signs throughout, because this is a thing that Spirit has brought up a couple times, is to come back to your why. Like, why am I putting all this time and effort and energy into this? It's because I really love my family. Oh, okay, cool. Proceed. Or, wait a minute. I'm putting in this time, and actually, when I get to the bottom of it, it's to please the father that I don't even particularly care for. Well, fuck that. Throw that out. What's my real why? Do you know what I'm talking about? Sort through whose voices are whose. What you want is entirely possible. And in fact, it may come in like a form that you completely were not expecting, which is often implied by the Four of Cups. Is like, if you are looking for things to go the same old way, you might be disappointed. But if you are open to things perhaps coming in a totally new and different way, you might be amazed at what a winner you feel like. Six of Wands, recognition for your unique talents, abilities, energy. You are shining. Step forward, be in the spotlight. When we see this next to this, you're right on top of it, and it's a big win. A big adventure for a big win. Six of Wands, what would feel to you, Gemini, like ultimate victory? Like, I really want to get noticed for fill in the blank. That's part of your homework too. I really want to get noticed for. Here's some questions. Look, ponder these. That recognition, that promotion is available. And Spirit is using that word promotion. So it's like, yes, that could be promotion within a job. That could also look like being more prominently featured somewhere. Like, oh, somebody's putting me on their podcast, or somebody shared whatever on their page, like, and it got promoted. You feel me? Let me know. Do you know what this is? Stories, comments, questions. Gemini, I would love to hear them. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening. Now, let's talk to Cancer. Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising, and Dominant Folks. Spirit, want to fill in to what is the overall theme? What is the flavor of energy or experience that Cancer is swimming in this month? Or I'm sorry, this week. Hello. Beautiful way to start. Okay. What about Cancer themselves, Spirit? How are they showing up? What is their persona card? How are they interacting with this energy this week, Spirit? Cancer, how are they showing up? Page, Knight, Queen, King, Earth, Air, Fire, Water. Cancer, Spirit. Okay. Now let's look at money, work, budgets. Don't worry, Cancer, I'll pick up and show you everything in just a second. How are things looking around the job, the finances, Spirit? Okay. And what about their mind, their headspace, thoughts, communications, given and received, Spirit? What is the mental, bless you? What is the mental realm, bless you, of Cancer feeling like this week? Okay. And what about emotionally? In the realm of feelings and relationships, Spirit. In the realm of emotions and relationships, Spirit, what does Cancer need to know for their highest good this week? Wow. Love to see it. Okay. And finally, Spirit, what about their energy? How is their fire and their light this week? And how is it being directed? What do my Cancer folks need to know this week for their highest good? Wow. Okay. You are not trapped. That is the first thing Spirit is saying super, super loud. You are not trapped. So I don't know why I need to say that, but I need to say it. Overall energy for the week, quite beautiful. Temperance, take it easy. Moderation, things are in flow, things are in flux. Do not be attached to any outcome, and you are not stuck. That's part of not getting stuck. That's what Spirit is saying, is like not being so attached to an outcome with so much specificity that it cuts off other options. Like, well, this could have turned out really wonderfully, actually, but you only thought that it could come through this pinhole. And since it couldn't fit through this pinhole, you might end up thinking, like, well, it didn't come through the fucking pinhole. So, like, God doesn't love me. Spirit doesn't even hear me. You know what I mean? And they're like, please do not believe that. So, some of you are clearly, when you're sitting down and listening to this reading, feeling maybe a little bit dejected or afraid that you're going to have to go without, or that you are stuck. You are not stuck. Things are flowing. Ask also for help. That's what Spirit is saying. Like, if you can't ask from the people in your life, ask Spirit. Like, hey, Spirit, what do I need to do right now? Or, hey, Spirit, this is too heavy for me. Can you please help me carry this? Ask your people. Talk to your people. How do you show up this week, Cancer? Initiating change. You are a cardinal sign. Knight of Swords. So, change around words, change around like, hey, this needs to stop, or hey, this needs to start, or hey, we need to get to this place. Knights of Swords are like agents of change. So again, if you feel stuck, you're not stuck. And actually, I would say don't overcompensate by like trying to move really fast. So if you've been feeling a little hemmed in or a little concerned, or things aren't moving fast enough, you might feel like you have to move fast to make up for it. Pardon me, Cancer. Woo! Okay. You do not need to do that. You don't need to rush. You're moving plenty fast. The Knight of Swords can be great in that way. It's like thinking fast, moving fast, but don't rush. Okay? Speed is okay. Don't rush. So, when it comes to money, resources, budget, Spirit is saying this is another reason we're telling you to take it easy this week. We are coming off of carbs giving. We are heading into the holidays. Concerns about how much we have to give or do not have to give may be quite present. You are not alone. So that's the first thing that Spirit is saying in every single way. It's like, you are not alone. You do not need to shoulder all of this by yourself. You do not need to be like, well, that's just how it is, and let me keep going and keep trudging forward. The idea with the Five of Pentacles is there is actual help and money and all the things available to you, but don't feel so guilty or so ashamed that you don't just reach out and take them. And for some of you, Spirit is talking about food banks. So if you are at a point in life where it's like, this is really a struggle, I'm struggling to even pay my bills, don't be too proud to ask for what you need or go and get what you need. Okay. So in your headspace, here's where we're feeling a little bit stuck. Here's where we're feeling a little bit afraid of moving forward, of making a wrong or right decision. And this is why Spirit was saying, please do not overcompensate by being like, well, I've waited so long to make a decision, and now I'm just gonna. Two of Swords says, take your hands off of your ears and open up your eyes. There is more information becoming available. Things are moving. So things that may not have been possible before or felt frozen up until this moment may actually be starting to thaw. A problem that seemed very tangled, you may be able to get some looseness and some perspective on this week. Spirit is saying, please be very patient with your feelings, and don't, this sounds strange, but it's like, don't get your thoughts confused with your feelings. Feelings do not move at the speed of thoughts. Thoughts rush. Emotions flow. So if you rush, bring yourself back. Take it easy. Moderation. A little of this, a little of that. The version of Temperance in the classic Rider-Waite version of the cards, she has a white wing and a black wing, because the idea is we need the union of all elements. You can't have a picture that is all shadow because then there's nothing there. And you can't have a picture that is all light or white space, right? Because then again, there is nothing there. But when we combine light and shadow, we get dimension. And suddenly images become clear, things become clear. So keep in mind all the dimensions. It's neither all good nor all bad. What is the mix? What is the mix? Speaking of things that are all good, in the emotional realm, beautiful card. Spirit says some of you are celebrating, like, of course, we just came off, like I said, Thanksgiving. So a lot of us have been celebrating or commemorating or being with family or loved ones. But some of you might be commemorating like an anniversary or something like that. 10 of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful card. My cups runneth over. I am surrounded by all kinds of love. You know, this 10 of Cups is very focused on a wedding, and it looks like very romantic in its nature. But the whole point of the 10 of Cups is like the love of friends, the love of community, the love of children, the love of elders. Like it's all kinds of love that is available. So again, if you're feeling in any way cut off, what you need is available to you. Open up. Open up and ask, and please be willing to receive. And Spirit is saying you give so much. So please remind yourself, like, you give, and so it is only right that you receive. Again, if you're feeling stuck, that is an illusion. Three of Wands, your energy, the light, the adventure in your life. Three of Wands is stepping out onto a new path. It is the, like, spirit is using the word manifestation. I don't use that all the time. But they're talking about like the path opens up and suddenly something becomes available that was not until now available. But it is crucial that you be the one to take the steps onto the path. It is not like, it does not feel like your ship's coming in. It feels like you going out to meet them. That's what Spirit is saying. So where can you step courageously forward in the direction of what it is that you want to have or see or be or experience? Move courageously toward it. Do not believe that you are stuck. Look at the picture with all its dimension and see what you really see. Spirit is showing you a magic eye now. You know those old pictures where you would put it right up to your nose and then you would pull it back, 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 and then you would see the real picture emerge? It's like that was there the whole time. You just had to look at it a certain way to get all the dimension. Feel me? Okay. I hope that that helps you have a beautiful week, Cancer. I appreciate you. Questions, comments, stories, share them. I'd love to know. I'm a moon in Cancer myself, highly aspected. So I relate to my moon children. Okay. Now let's move on to Leo. Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising, and Leo dominant people spirit. What is the overall theme, the overall energy that Leo will be interacting with this week? Love it. Beautiful. And what about Leo themselves? How are they showing up? What is their persona card, Spirit? How are they interacting with this energy, and what do they need to know about it for their highest good? Leo, Leo, Leo sun, moon, and rising, interacting with this energy. Wow. Okay. How many of y'all have Cancer placements? Just curious. Let me know. Okay. What about money, budgets, jobs, spirit? What does Leo need to know? Hello. Let me not lose you. What does Leo need to know when it comes to all of their resources? Money, work, projects, time. Beautiful. Okay. And what about Leo's headspace? Their mind, the realm of words, communications, given and received. Ooh, hello. Spirit for Leo. What's going on in the mind? What do they need to know about their mental realm and their headspace for their highest good this week? Beautiful. Feels like revelation. We're going to find out. Okay. I'll pick up and show you your cards in just a second, Leo. What about emotionally, Spirit? In the realm of love, emotions, relationships, the realm of the heart. What's going on in the realm of the heart for Leo that they need to know about for their highest good this week, to have the best, most fulfilling outcome. Good to know. And finally, Spirit, what about their fire, their energy, Leo's own elements? How is their fire showing up? And how is it being directed this week? What do they need to know about their wands for their highest good? Wow. Spirit just said a lot of you are seeing something through. You are seeing something through this week. It feels like you're on the verge, like on the verge of this massive sense of completion. So, overall energy and theme of the week, the star, Spirit is talking about faith. Pure and simple, where it's like, you know, the stars, they're always there. They're always in the sky above us, but the only time that we can see them is at night. So the star is about what guides us forward when we don't have any external guidance. Like we cannot rely on, you know, our sight because it's pitch black. We have to go by faith. Our other senses also have to open up and we become more aware. So Spirit is saying, if you haven't found the miracle yet, become more aware. The miracle is showing up this week. Become more aware, become more aware. So maybe you are a little bit in your head, Leo. Knight of Swords, agents of change, knights. They want things, they want to move from one place to another. And the Knight of Swords can be quite impatient. He might miss some things along his way because he is so quick to want to make the decision or make the call or arrive at XYZ place that he has in his mind. You feel me? But the star says don't rush. If you rush, you might miss the treasure. You might miss the revelation. You might miss the miracle. So stay present and stay on the course. That's the other thing that I'm hearing. So it's like maybe some of you are like right on the edge of, you know what, this particular path is not working for me. I think I need to leave. I'm hearing stay the course. Now, of course, these are general readings, Leo. So if you are like, nope, I know for a fact that like this job is toxic or this relationship, blah, 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 you make the choice that you know is right for you. But if there is something that's like, I just don't have faith that this is going to happen anymore. Like it feels like if you stay the course and you open yourself up, you open your other senses up to the miracle that is possible, and you do trust yourself and you trust, you know, Spirit is, this is coming up for several signs. So this is like a channeled message for probably lots and lots and lots of people, almost all people this week, the way that like those major, the far away planetary transits affect all of us. That's what Spirit is saying. There's a little bit of what is your why? And you need to trust your why. So for lots of you, it's like you are on a path and you have a really deep, enduring why. If that is the case, then it is not time to abandon ship or abandon this path and try another thing because it's just not happening fast enough. That's what I'm hearing. It's like fast is not as important as real. Okay? So, beautifully, in the realm of money, projects, resources, Nine of Pentacles, patting yourself on the back, you doing great, you feeling very like self-satisfied, self-fulfilled, self-sufficient. Nines are about self. The nines of the minor arcana are like the lower octave of the hermit, which is number 9 in the major arcana. So it's like going your own way, trusting your own vision, pursuing what it is that you care about, and then seeing that to fruition. I mean, literally, we see fruit right behind this person. They have brought so much to fruition and they get to stand there calmly and just observe. So when I say like that miracle that you've been waiting for, or that confirmation that what you've been working toward is worthwhile, it feels like there's a high, high, high likelihood of you receiving the feedback or the money or the go ahead that you've been waiting for. In the realm of the mind, Leo, Ace of Swords, gaining so much clarity, cutting right through stuff that was standing in the way or was causing confusion. I'm hearing have very open conversations this week. Definitely, and I trust a Leo to do that. I don't feel like there's deception. I feel like there could be a temptation to like hold something in or like just like be on guard versus be open. And I'm hearing like be open. If there's a choice between be on guard and be open, like be open. Say what it is that you need to say, even if it's like, hey, it really pissed me off when you, or whatever. Like, initiate the conversation. Now, a word of warning, Knight of Swords, again, is a card of like impatience and trying to get there way too fast and perhaps cutting some corners or hurting some feelings in the pursuit of like single-minded, I'm trying to get somewhere, okay? I don't care who gets spun or stomped or whatever on the way. I'm trying to get somewhere. Careful of that. Careful of quote unquote collateral damage. Be clear with people every step of the way. That's what I'm hearing. So, in the realm of emotions, Four of Cups, Spirit is saying one word very clear as I look at this, and that is doubts. There are doubts here, and the overall energy and theme of your week is have faith. It's okay. They can both be there at the same time. You can have your doubts and have your faith, contrary to what the fucking prevailing conversation might be. It's just like courage and fear. Courage is not the absence of fucking fear. The whole point of faith is like, I don't have a concrete, yeah, this is definitely going to be okay, or this is definitely going to happen if I keep going. I don't get that with faith. That's the whole point, is doubts are here and I continue to proceed with faith. My doubts are present. They're whispering to me. They're trying to get me off path or trying to get me to drop something right before I'm about to strike gold. And that's something that Spirit is saying. Remember your why. Is your why stronger than your doubts? You can do whatever you want, Leo. You know that. Like, and your free will is everything. If your why is stronger than your doubts, then I say proceed. If your doubts are overtaking your why, then your why might not be the real thing. That's what Spirit is saying. I'm just the messenger. Looking at your energy, where it is being directed, how high it is. Nine of Wands is like, oh, are we there yet? We are so close, but being so close to the end of this giant epic adventure means we're pretty fucking tired because we've been on the fucking whole 1 to 8 of Wands. Now we're at the 9. It's almost the 10. And then that means like we're right there. We're there. We're like a step away, right, from completion. 9 of Wands says, hold on, be vigilant. And it is also like, Spirit is comparing it to keeping your senses open. When they say be vigilant, it's the same as the star. Is it is like look for the signs, and they will not always be so obvious. That's the point of the star. Again, it's at night. It's not obvious. It's not the sun. Oh, there's the path right there. Okay, go this, this, this. No, it's okay. I've got to open up and my spiritual sight, my energetic sense, and move with what fills me and move away from what drains me. That's what they're saying. So you've been questioning. It's like, I want this path. I want this. I want this. I want this. I just feel like it's not going to happen. Look out for some form of feedback or sign this week that is like, and what Spirit is saying is something like, you get a message from someone saying, hey, that thing that you do is really great. I just saw it and I just want you to know that yada, yada, yada. Something that just lets you know. It's like, what I'm doing means something. I am on path. I am on path. I am on path. That's what they're saying. How do you feel about that, Leo? Stories, comments, questions? Let me know. As a Leo rising myself, I'm going to have my eyes open. I hope that helps. And now, let's talk to Virgo. My mutable earth friends. Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising, and Virgo dominant folks. What is going on in the realm of my archetypal Virgos, Spirit? What do they need to know? What is the overall theme or energy that they are encountering this week? Beautiful way to start. Okay. I'll pick up and show you everything in just a second, Virgo. But first, we got to pick your persona card. How is Virgo themselves showing up with that energy, Spirit? How are they interacting? Gorgeous, gorgeous. Very Virgo energy, okay? And how about around money for Virgo? Money, budgets, projects, work. How are things looking in the realm of resources for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Dominant folks? Nice. Peaceful. Looking good. Okay. What about headspace, Spirit? Thoughts, words, communications. What does Virgo need to know this week? What do you want to make them aware of for their highest good? Okay. And in their heart space, their emotions, their feelings, Spirit. What does Virgo need to know when it comes to the realm of the heart? Gorgeous. And finally, what about their energy, Spirit? How is the energy of Virgo being directed this week? How is their fire showing up? Okay. So, Virgo, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Pardon me. Your overall energy and theme for this week, temperance. There is ease, there is flow, and Spirit is saying there's actually a lot more abundance that can come from finding the things that create that easy, moderated flow state versus, say, like going really hard. Like, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna, like, let's like look at what, Spirit is using the word workflow. And that's probably because you are showing up as Page of Pentacles. So unsurprisingly, as always, you're an earth sign anyway, but you are showing up as thinking about your resources, thinking about your projects and what you want to grow, what you want to create and manifest in the world, whether that's like financially, whether that is a project. It's going to be different things for different Virgos because I'm hearing these different things, right? So in any case, ease and moderation and a blending of elements is what is going to get you there. So if you are kind of like, Spirit is talking about harmony and balance. And, the difference between harmony and balance is like when we think about balance, it's like scales, like, and the whole point is to get the scales to be still, right? To get even and to get still. But with harmony, it's multiple elements working together in the right amounts. A little of this, a little of that blends together to create this. You know what I mean? Um, and it feels like if you are trying to put too much weight on any one thing in your life or any one realm of your life, it's going to quote unquote feel like a failure. But it's not because you fail. It's because it's like, I put everything into this and it only, increased by this much. And it's like, well, I only feel like a failure because I put everything into this when, if I was like, I'm down for incremental growth, if that is how the growth happens, then I see this much growth. I'm like, look at that. There was growth. Do you know what I'm talking about? And that's very much more Page of Pentacles. Pages are beginner's mind, student's mind, the adept, the one who is willing to learn, to quote unquote start from the bottom. So for some of you, Spirit is even talking about like, oh, look at that. I gained 2 followers or I gained 2 subscribers or whatever this is. And for some people, it'd be like, I only gained 2 subscribers. I've been putting everything into this. Let me just show you why Spirit is saying that. In the mental realm, 5 of Swords, potential for a little bit of like a losing game, like and head games, like even with yourself. And that's what Spirit is saying. For a lot of you, it's like this is just inside your own head. It's not even other people putting this on you. So for one person standing in one place, they could be like, I only gained this. For some people, it's like I only gained 2,000. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Spirit is saying, is like it's all perspective. If you're willing to be a Page of Pentacles and go, what I'm looking for is growth. So I'm not trying to judge how that growth happens or what the timeline is. I'm just here to garden and tend to this project and create the conditions for it to grow. And what Spirit is saying, they're reminding me of that, of course, like that famous science experiment that can be repeated and replicated so many, many, many times, is that when you have a plant, and you can have the exact same plant, you can have them under the same objective conditions, the same amount of light, the same climate, the same soil, et cetera, et cetera. But you have one person stand there and go, fuck you, you piece of shit plan. I hate you. You're worthless, yada, yada, yada. And the other one, you're saying, I love you. You're so great. Look at you grow. I'm noticing how much yesterday you were a little less full. Today you're blah, 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 blah. You're going to see differences in how those two organisms are able to come into their fullness. So don't talk shit to yourself. Don't talk shit to your projects. Don't talk shit to your growth. You're growing. Send love to that. Send love to that. Do not cut yourself off from what is good. Okay? By fighting what is bad. There is so much good this week. So to come over to projects, money, work, Six of Pentacles, flow, harmony, the dynamic kind of harmony that Spirit was talking about, where it's like, ooh, this piece, this piece, this piece. When I put all these things together, it works really nicely. So I feel like some of you are balancing your budget, where it's like, ooh, okay, I want to bring this down because I want to pay off this debt faster, or I'm going to stop doing this because I want to pay for this class, or I'm going to donate to this cause because it's attached to my big why. And, you know, as you give, so you shall receive. So, especially with the Page of Pentacles and then that Five of Swords saying, like, don't fight losing battles, don't decry and denigrate your own growth or your own progress, your own development. When you give the energy of, I love you, you're doing so well, I'm so proud of how you're growing, no matter what the fucking rate is, you're going to see better growth. Does that make sense? That's just what they're saying. Matter of fact, fucking wishes can come true, Virgo. Nine of Cups, such a sense of emotional satisfaction. I wished for this, and here it is. Once upon, Spirit is saying, once upon a time, this was a dream. Once upon a time, I dreamed of having this type of job, or creating this kind of thing, or doing this kind of collaboration. And like, holy shit, let me not lose sight of the fact that in so many ways, I am living the dream. Not in every way. I'm still trying to make some new things grow, and I am open to the arrival of new kinds of harmony into my life. So it's not perfect, but goddamn, let me count. Spirit is saying, literally, let me count the ways that I'm living the dream. Even if there's only 3 things that you can count. You know, I'm under my own roof, or I love my cat, or whatever. Count the ways in which your dreams are coming true. It's not about pretending. It's not about ignoring the ones that aren't working. It's making sure that you aren't lingering there and losing perspective. Okay? Okay. Now, when it comes to your energy and how it is being directed, Seven of Wands, Spirit says you have what it takes. Do not get caught up in the battle part of this. Do not like waste your energy, is what I'm hearing. Is like, you are on top. If you are considering whether or not you have what it takes to compete, you do, but you don't need to go waste your energy by fighting every little fight. You don't need to waste your energy like concerning yourself with like Spirit is like dick measuring contest. You don't need to be looking at, again, like, what are the numbers? How do I compare to this person, or this where I was last year, or whatever? It's like, don't compare. Shine. Don't have little battles. Stand up for what you really care about. That, and Spirit is saying you could be putting your energy into fighting the people that disagree with you, or trying to get them to change their mind, or you could fight for and with the people that already are aligned with you. And I feel like there's, you know, you could have 2 very different outcomes this week depending on which side of that you want to take. So I say fight for, not against. Okay? Okay. So let me know, Virgo. Questions, comments, stories. Is any of that already resonating for you? What's coming up for you? You know, if you feel like it, I would appreciate it. I hope it helps. And now, let's talk to Libra. My Libra sun, moon, rising, and dominant folks. What's going on with Libra people this week, Spirit? What do they need to know for their highest good? Okay, pull one more. What do they need to know about that, Spirit? What do you want Libra to know and do regarding that energy? Beautiful. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. And how is Libra themselves showing up? What is their persona card, Spirit? Page, Knight, Queen, King, Earth, Air, Fire, Water. Spirit, how do you want to guide Libra to have the best week possible? How are they showing up, and what do you want them to know? Okay. What about when it comes to their money, work, projects, budgets? I'll pick up and show you everything in just a second, Libra. What is it looking like in the realm of resources for Libra? What do you want them to know about their resources for their highest good? Beautiful card. Okay. And what about their headspace? Libra's headspace this week. What do you want to share with my Libra-born people for their highest good? What do they need to know about the realm of thoughts, words, communications? I mean, typical Libra things. We'll talk about it. Okay. Okay, and what about their heart space, Spirit, the realm of emotions, relationships, the realm of the heart? What kind of energy do you want to highlight for Libra for their highest good? Okay, and finally, their energy, Spirit. How is Libra's light and fire showing up this week, and what do they need to know or do with it for their highest good? Always for their joy, fulfillment, abundance, love. How is Libra working their energy? Wow. If you have been avoiding a new way of life or kind of an epiphany, I feel like this week is a turning point, Libra. So, overall energy for this week. First card up, our old friend, the devil. Nothing to be worried about, certainly nothing to be scared of. The devil, I love that this is the mythic tarot because this is the devil as he was actually intended, as Pan, the horny little goat god that loved to chase the sexy nymphs around and drink things and yada yada, all about pleasure, kind of like hedonism, right? Things that a Libra can be accused of sometimes is like just wanting the finer things in life, just wanting to enjoy, maybe a little bit, shallow at times. A Libra can be accused of, right? I'm a Libra stellium myself, so don't come for me, okay? I'm just saying. So you're a clarifying card because whenever we pick a card for the week that might be something that's a little troubling or a little upsetting, we're going to pull like, okay, what is the antidote to that energy, right? So I love to see strength on the other side of the devil. The devil says temptation. The devil says like, ooh, like we could keep doing this the old way. We could keep up what Spirit is calling our old self-protections. We could stay a little bit hypnotized. I'm going to jump over to your headspace card. And are you noticing any similarities here? Spirit is using the phrase cross purposes, being at cross purposes with yourself. Maybe you're arguing in your head there's like you want it one way, but the world would prefer it if you did it this other way, or this institution or this person or whatever. And it's like, am I at cross purposes with my own self? What do I really want to do? Am I clear about what all of my options are, or am I kind of like, oh nope, this is it, this is all there is to it? Because the devil can be like dead end job, toxic relationship, things that are like a rut, a mental and emotional rut. The devil can also be about literal addiction to substances, to relationships, to dynamics that keep you low. And Spirit is saying, is there a person that it's like, I'm going through my day, I'm doing great, and then their name pops up on my phone or in my notification somewhere, and everything just goes, or or whatever. That could be what this is related to for some of you. These are general readings, of course, Libra, but Spirit is saying some of y'all are going to resonate with that. And it's like that person, you might need to do some thinking about what that is doing for you. And I don't mean that with shade. Even someone who is not good for us, they are in our life giving us bitter medicine. Like, how long do I need to take this bitter medicine? What is it giving to me? When do I get to decide I don't need to dose myself with this anymore to understand that this isn't going to work, or that this isn't suit me, or this will never be the same as it used to be for me again. Maybe this used to be fun or sexy or cool or attractive or passion filled, and now it's draining me dry. Again, spirit is drawing. Again, some of you may actually be dealing with like, ugh, I'm trying to get away from this substance, all the way from the light end of like caffeine or chocolate or cigarettes or something, all the way to the heavier end of like a drug that could really hurt me if I continue on this path, right? Either way, whatever you may be addicted to in life or subject to in life, which they're the same thing, the path of healing addiction is finding out what the pain or the problem is underneath this thing that we use to manage the pain or the problem. Is this relationship a cover up for I've never actually felt fulfilled? I feel lonely even next to this person, but I'm afraid I'll feel lonely or alone. Well, actually, that is like not a cure, because actually I need to find myself and be with myself. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like the drinking is a problem, but it's not the problem. The problem is you were psychologically abused throughout your childhood, so now you have to drown out the voices with alcohol. Do you know what I'm saying? These are just examples. Because we can drown out the voices with the spirit is talking about overachieving and high performance. And it's like whatever we may be using, when the devil is present, we can use it to hurt ourselves. So even overachieving or over exercising, spirit is using a lot of their, that's the point of general readings. Listen, if you want a personal reading, stuff gets very zeroed in, but spirit is saying a lot of things because we're talking to a lot of Libras. Now, in any case, the cure and the antidote is to be with your lion. Now, this is the Mythic Tarot, so this particular rendering of strength is Hercules and the lion. But the actual meaning of strength, it's not about wrestling your lion. It's not about submitting your fucking lion. We all have a beast inside. We all have a lion inside that if we don't take care of it, it will jump out when we least expect it and tear us or our life or our relationship or our whatever apart. We don't have a choice about whether or not we have the lion inside. That is our nature. What we have a choice about is how we treat it. Do we try to beat it, cage it, kill it? Then it will have its revenge. Do we try to care for it, tend it, feed it, train it, protect it? Then we will have its assistance. Then we will be in the fullness of ourselves instead of trying to hide from one half of ourselves and thus lose half of our power. And spirit's connecting that back to the devil and saying when we convince ourselves that we are under something's sway or that it is impossible to get out of a situation or there's only one choice and it's this, that is like hypnotizing ourselves and going and being with our lion, our depression, our insecurity, our fear of failure, our fear of success, whatever, coming to it and being like, hey, lion, you keep breaking me out in hives. What are we afraid of? What do we need? And spirit is saying that literally. So I don't know if it's just this one fucking lonely Libra that's watching this going like, yeah, I am breaking out in hives. But that's what spirit is saying. It's like these are signposts. These are invitations deeper into yourself. How do you show up? Strong, slow, steady, dependable is another word that spirit is using. Knight of Pentacles. Knights are agents of change. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest and most deliberate of those knights. All of the other knights can have a little bit of a, rushing in of an energy, right? But the Knight of Pentacles is like, I have chosen my, like what I am devoted to, the work that I am devoted to, and I continue to show up, show up, show up, show up. So I see you doing that. And spirit is saying, there's a question of whether you show up dutifully in service of the devil or in service of your strength. And again, not the devil like Satan or evil. Tarot is pre-Christian, meaning in the service of keeping yourself safe and protected and sane, or in service of your full expression, your courage, you blossoming into everything that you want to be, which is what happens when you get with that lion inside and become its ally. I think you have massive potential to grow. Spirit is using the word appreciate, and they mean it in various ways. To grow and appreciate your money, as in things that you do and create are appreciating in value as you continue your devoted, Spirit is saying devoted study. So some of you are literally either taking classes or just like studying, practicing, doing a lot of work on your off hours to make yourself even better at your craft. And I see you getting recognition for that. Nine of Pentacles, the self-recognition is more important than anyone else's. Like, damn, look at how far I've come. Let me think about where I was a year ago or 2 years ago. And I feel like you get this sense, especially those of you who are willing to lean away from the devil of, I need to drown out this fear. No, I want to face this fear. I don't want to avoid this fear. I want to face it. I want to talk to it. I want to make friends with my fear. And then we can all go together because they're not just holding me here where I am. We're all going to go together. And I feel that those of you who face it, those of you who, uncover your ears and open up your eyes and deal with the dueling needs or paths. Spirit is saying 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. Look up the poem if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, it's amazing. It's a Robert Frost poem all about having to choose a path. And now Spirit is bringing up, was it Schopenhauer? There's a Stoic philosopher who he's famous for a litany, it might be Kant, where he's talking about, if you get married, you'll regret it. If you stay single, you'll regret it. If you have children, you'll regret it. If you don't have children, you'll regret it. It sounds like doom and gloom, but it's not. His whole point is free yourself. There will always be the path not taken. So being in arrested development, and Spirit is using that that phrase very specifically, being in arrested development because you're afraid of picking the wrong path does not stop you from having the I wonder what would have happened if I had gone out with that person, or what if that had happened differently. You're going to have that no matter what, so you may as well pick a path and go exploring. And Spirit is saying, please trust yourself. Some of you don't trust your skills and talents enough. Knight of Pentacles, strength. You can trust. You can trust. You know what you're doing. Emotionally, love to see it. 3 of Cups, friends, collaboration, fun, coming together, enjoying, celebrating. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is connected to that 9 of Pentacles, where there's we did it. Look at what we made, or look at what you've done. We're all raising our glasses to you. Spirit is using the word graduation. So for some of you, that could be literal. For many of you, that is figurative. But in one way or another, I feel a lot of you are kind of getting some kind of commemoration of how far you've come. And if nobody else is going to give it to you, I think that you ought to give it to yourself. And you ought to have yourself a little bit of okay, this season is almost over, right? We're about to move into the winter season pretty soon. So it's harvest time. This would be a great time to be thinking about what have I learned? How have I grown? In what ways would I never have known that I could, find epiphany or comfort or understanding a year and a half ago? And now I'm like, wow, look how far I've come. That's just what they're saying. And finally, Libra, when it comes to your energy, how your fire or your light is showing up, brilliant, raw. That's another word Spirit is using. Like a raw, wonderful idea, inspiration that is full of passion, full of possibility. What are you really excited about? What are you really excited to get going? I feel like that you either stumble upon it, or you come up with it with a couple of other people, or perhaps you just get a sense of how well you're doing, and that inspires you to take on a new thing or to start moving in this new direction. And I do love to see that Ace of Wands on the other side of 2 of Swords. You may have an epiphany that is so strong that it gets through the static of your conflicting thoughts about it. That's what I'm hearing. Love to see it. You let me know, Libra. What's going on here? Comments, questions, stories? I would love to know. And thank you for listening, Libra. I really hope that this is helpful for you. And now let's talk to my Scorpio friends. Fixed water people. Those born under the constellation of Scorpio spirit, sun, moon, rising, and dominant Scorpio people. What do they need to know this week? What is the overall theme or energy showing up for Scorpio this week? Wow. Okay. Wow. So, very Scorpionic card. Okay. And now, how is Scorpio themselves showing up? How is Scorpio interacting with this energy spirit? How will Scorpio be appearing to others this week? And how can they interact? Wow, gorgeous, with this energy for their highest good. Okay, pretty good so far, Scorpio. I'll pick up and show all your cards in just a second. So what about money, spirit, work, money, jobs, projects? What's happening in the realm of resources for Scorpio? Gorgeous. Okay. And in the mind, how is their headspace? Thoughts and words being expressed and received by Scorpio. Okay. And what about the realm of emotions, spirit, Scorpio's own element of water? What's going on in the realm of Scorpio's feelings this week? What is showing up for them? Okay, and finally, spirit. What about their fire, their energy, their light? How is Scorpio's passion showing up this week? Wow. You know, I feel like you worry this week, but you're more in control and in a better place than you might even know it. Okay. So, the overall energy and theme for the week. My eyes kind of bugged out because two cards wanted to jump out and they show up in this order. So, I'm just the messenger. I'm going to listen to spirit. So, the High Priestess, first of all, very Scorpionic, going into the underworld. This is the mythic tarot, so this version of the High Priestess is rendered as Persephone. You can see her little pomegranate here as she leaves the world of spring, of everything coming to life, and enters the underworld, goes into her own unconscious, right? The realm where her intuition is. It's how she becomes the High Priestess. And then it is connected to strength. Wonder how many of you might have Libra placements because strength was a card that showed up for Libra this week. So strength, another version of a person who has left this outer world and has had to go into the cave, right? The cave of themselves, in pursuit of themselves, their own understanding. So Scorpio, I feel like this is a very deep week where you could have some huge fucking intuitive downloads that result in treating yourself in very different ways, handling your anger or anxiety, depression, worries, etc. in a much healthier, more aligned way. Feels very possible for you this week. Not only because of those cards, but because your persona card, you show up as completely in your element. King of Cups. King and queen and all that having nothing to do with sex and gender and everything to do with personality type. And a King of Cups is like a demonstrably emotionally mature and full human being, right? So the natural counselor, the natural nurturer, but not in that Queen of Cups maternal way so much as a King of Cups, like a really great therapist or counselor or mentor who can help other people understand their thoughts and motivations in ways that open things up for them. So I feel like you do that for others this week. I feel like you also do that for yourself. And you may also this week, Scorpio, Spirit is saying this now, you may seek a King of Cups in your own life as well. And that is often true. When a court card shows up as us or as another person, there is a resonance that wants to happen between us and that person. So you may go seeking a therapist or a mystic or an authority in the emotional realm, and then discover the mystic or the psychologist or the counselor or authority within you through that person. We go into resonance together. That's what Spirit is saying. So if any of you are, it really, these are general readings, of course, Scorpio, and this is very specific what I'm about to say, but it feels like some of you are deliberately stepping into like a therapeutic or transformative environment. Like I'm getting into therapy, or I'm taking a workshop to sort through my emotions, or I'm taking a course for like children of narcissistic parents. Like I'm hearing all these different things, right? This is an opportunity to go really deep and to come back up knowing like, oh, I have total mastery of that. I've got this. You know, he makes his throne on top of the ocean, but he is on a stable platform. So it's like I can navigate, I can go deep, and I can surf and sail on top of the waves as well. I'm comfortable with the scuba diving. I'm comfortable with the submarine. I'm comfortable windsurfing. I'm comfortable with all emotional levels. Spirit is saying, can you love and forgive your whole self? Can you decide as you enter this emotional tunnel, this intuitive exploration, because that's what they're saying for some of you, can you decide that you love your whole self and that no matter what you meet there, you will meet it with love? That will save you a whole lot of trouble as you go through whatever this experience is. And for some of you, this is just like, oh, this is an emotional week where I'm like noticing and confronting some things about myself and my worries and fears and finding out how fucking abundant and amazing I am. Okay. Looking at money, resources, budgets, etc. 10 of Pentacles, more than enough, plenty. You safe with your family, with your loved ones. We are coming off of carbs giving, so this could be related to some of us have just seen or just been with or just kind of like refreshed, refilled that particular cup of our life. And for others of you, it's like financially speaking, abundant, secure, good to go. You have the protections that you need. That's what I'm hearing. Now, the headspace. This is what I was partially alluding to. Nine of Swords, going into deep places. Nine of Swords is called the nightmare card. It's stress, it's anxiety, it's Spirit is using the word like operatic levels of anxiety, which is very scorpionic. It's like all or nothing. Like, why would I wouldn't be anxious about something that I don't care about. So if I'm anxious, it's because I really fucking care about whatever this is. And Spirit is like, totally hear that. And this is part of that unconditional love of yourself thing, where it's like, okay, I have this operatic fear of fill in the blank. I have this operatic fear of being fired, being abandoned or cheated on, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Fill in the blank. You don't even need to go into all of them. I have an operatic fear of that. Now, Spirit is like, now can you decide that if you were to encounter betrayal, if you were to encounter, oh, I was wrong about this thing I thought I intuitively had completely down, whatever. When I face that, will I face it with love as opposed to, ooh, I could choose to hate myself right now. I could choose to get on the side of my ego and be like, well, that was fucking stupid. I can't believe you even said that because yada, yada, yada. Now you're embarrassed, right? Now you told everybody that we were together with this person and now you have to, da, 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 da. It's like, am I going to do that to myself? Or if I arrive at, oh my God, it's not working with this relationship. This is just a hypothetical, Scorpio, okay? It's not working, this relationship. I've already told the world about it. I've posted all the pictures of yada, yada, yada. Am I going to get on the side of people who would be like, yeah, you should be embarrassed. I can't believe you shared pictures of this person or this thing that you were working on and then you decided you didn't want to do it, or this person was a shithead and now you should be embarrassed because that person was a shithead. That doesn't fucking compute. That person should be embarrassed if they're a shithead. I am an open-hearted, courageous person who shares what I'm passionate about. I'm never going to be embarrassed about that. I'm never going to be ashamed of that. I'm never going to hurt myself for being the kind of person who is deeply invested and deeply passionate and deeply involved. Okay? So that's what I'm hearing. If any of you are facing shame or dread around what are people going to think about me, or what should I even think about myself, that this might not work out, or I'm afraid of this, because that's what I'm feeling. It's not like 10 of Swords where something does go wrong. It's a fear of something going wrong. It's a deep anxiety of what could go wrong. Can you tell yourself that no matter what happens, you're going to love and appreciate the courage and the depth and the devotion with which you entered whatever this was? You tell me, Scorpio. That's just what Spirit is saying, and I'm like, this is intense energy. Emotionally, this feels very connected to the fucking Nine of Swords. Five of Cups, a feeling of loss. And what Spirit is bringing up is one aspect of the Five of Cups, which can be, quote unquote, crying over spilled milk. Are you punishing yourself for something that is like, what's done is done? I'm not talking about, we talk about how don't be ashamed, don't feel guilty. And it's like there's healthy guilt, there's even healthy shame. Like, oh my God, when I acted this way, I don't like that. I feel ashamed of myself. Okay, well, the point isn't to now, well, I feel ashamed of myself. Now I have to torture myself forever to make sure that I never forget how shameful I am. No, no, no. Like, the answer is, okay, what can I do to transmute this shame? I can make a pact with myself that I will never behave in that way again. I can also decide to make amends however that I can. You know what I mean? There are things that I can do to transmute this shame and make it into something that makes me a better person, not a worse person. Same with fear, same with depression, same with anxiety. The Strength card would tell you the beast inside, no matter what form it takes, it needs our love. And we are the one who trains or neglects the lion inside, and that directly correlates to how that lion emerges. Does it jump out and rip your fucking throat out and now you can't talk and da, da, da? Or is it like, this is my faithful assistant, and when my sacred rage needs to come out, here comes my lion to scare the fuck out of people and put them in the fucking line? You know what I'm talking about? So Spirit is saying with this Five of Cups, they could see a little bit of dwelling on what's not working or what has gone wrong to the point where you might miss out on something really beautiful. This particular rendering of the Five of Cups is based on the story in myth of Eros and Psyche. And if you know the story, I'm going to condense it super, 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 okay? Goddess of love's child, Eros, is supposed to go get rid of this woman, Psyche, because she's so beautiful that Aphrodite is jealous, right? So she sends her son to go kill this woman. Oops, he falls in love. Oops, she falls in love. Oops, it's kind of forbidden. Okay, I'm going to come to you in the night, nice lady. You're my wife now, but you can't look at me because I'm a fucking god. So you can't look at me, but just trust me. If you never look at me, we can stay in bliss forever. And then her sisters get into her head and whisper some doubts and insecurities. So one night she sneaks up on him with the lit lamp, and then he flees. And she's afraid that she has lost him forever. Spoiler alert, she doesn't. Spoiler alert, this cup is still left standing. Something has spilled, something is over, but something is also available and brings nourishment. So I would just say, don't stay focused on, oh, this is gone forever, or oh, this can never happen again, or etc. Mourn where you need to mourn, grieve where you need to grieve. These are hard times. I'm not telling you to avoid that. Grieve what you need to grieve, and make sure that in your grief, you are making those moments to appreciate what is still here, which is the other side of grief. Grief is the cost of love. So if we are grieving, it is because there is something that we have loved, and remember to lean into that side too. You know what I'm talking about? Speaking of good things, your energy, your fire, your light. Four of Wands. These are two cards about happy home, happy family, celebration, togetherness, loving community. So if any of the Nine of Swords and Five of Cups talk has you fearing that you're going to end up alone, or you're going to end up not feeling um, loved, appreciated, understood. On the contrary, I feel that these fears, these anxieties, and even this grief is coming up so that you can go to that even deeper place within yourself and transmute them. You know, Spirit is talking about on the extreme end of that Five of Cups grief, where it's like, you know, I've had this experience. I don't know if you have, Scorpio, where you lose what is at that time the love of your life. The one that you love the very most literally dies, and the grief is overwhelming. Nobody could ever tell you, hey, turn around and look at those 2 cups that are still left over, right? And have you actually do it. I completely understand. I completely relate. I'm a Scorpio stellium person myself. Now, what Spirit is saying is staying in that wild, overwhelming grief does not honor the love that existed to put the grief there. The grief is normal and natural as the love, and they need to be held right next to each other. It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. That's what Spirit is talking about. It deepened you. Whatever this is, it made you more of who you are, and at least brings you the opportunity to become more of who you are, as opposed to less, as opposed to let me cut this place in myself off, or let me slam a door on this aspect of myself. Nobody can ever come close to that again. No, this is meant to help you open. Okay? A deep reading, but Scorpio is a Scorpio. What can I say? I hope that that helps. I would love to hear, Scorpio, if you know what this is, if you've already got stories or resonances or rhymes. I'll let you know what pops up for me too. But now, let's move on to Sagittarius. My mutable fire friends. Sagittarius spirit. Want to know, what is the overall theme for Sagittarius this week? What are they experiencing or encountering? And what do you want them to know about it for their highest good? For their abundance, fulfillment, authenticity. Gorgeous. Okay. And how is Sagittarius themselves showing up and interacting with this energy, spirit? What is Sagittarius's persona this week? Where are they focused? Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Now tell me about money. Money and resources for my Sagittarian friends and family. Money, budgets, work, projects, spirit. What's it looking like for Sagittarius this week? Beautiful. Feels like there's a kind of a full circle moment this week. Very accomplished, like very accomplished feeling. Okay. Give me one more minute. And what about their headspace, spirit? Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising, and dominant people. What's going on in the realm of thoughts, words, communications? Wow, really is a full circle moment. Okay. What about emotionally, spirit? The realm of the heart, feelings, relationships. What's going on in the realm of emotions for Sagittarius? What do they need to know for their highest good? Huh. This is an interesting week. I'm curious if any of you have Scorpio placements, please share below. Seeing some crossover here. One more, please, spirit. Okay. And finally, what about their energy? Their passion, their fire? What do they need to know about how their fire is showing up, their own element, spirit, this week for Sagittarius? What do they need to know about, or how can they use their fire for their highest good? Wow. Tens, tens, tens across the board. It's not, but it's a lot of tens. Okay. overall theme and energy for this week: the world, graduation, full circle, completion, completion of a cycle. And then you show up as Page of Cups, open, available, um, very emotionally present and receptive. A sensitive, sweet Sagittarius. That's what I'm hearing from Spirit. So this rendition of the world is really interesting. We see that it's like the blend, right, of the two sexes. It's like union, and then we also have the four elements surrounding it, protecting it, influencing it, and then we also have the Ouroboros, like the snake eating itself. Everything, the end is the beginning is the end, etc. Everything moves in cycles, and Spirit is saying it's really important for you to remember that things move in cycles, so that when certain things come to an end or move away or fall off or turn into the next season or the next cycle, that you don't think, now this is how it is forever. It's like, no, it's an arc. You're moving in an arc. Keep your heart open and keep the lines of communication open. Don't be afraid to make wishes. The world is great accomplishment, and then sitting in the realm of your money, your resources, jobs, work, projects. Nine of Pentacles is also like, look what I've done. I'm amazing. Look what I've managed to grow and bring to fruition all by myself, because the 9 is not the 10. The 10 is, the protection of family and generational wealth and things like that. This is self-made. This is, I really did it, and I can really step back and admire myself. So Spirit is saying for some of you, you might literally have graduated. Some of you might be like, wow, I'm starting this new job, but from this new higher place. That's what they're saying with the Page of Cups, where it's like, I'm new, but I'm not new. I'm new, but I'm wildly experienced and totally capable. So if any of you are feeling a little bit like fish out of water or a little like beginner's mind, know that that serves you actually this week. And pages quite remind me of Sagittarians, because it's kind of like that holy fool. Like, fool meaning one who is not burdened by baggage and assumptions. And because they're not burdened by baggage and assumptions, they're available for miracles. That's what Spirit is saying. Now, the headspace. We had to start off with completion and things happen in arcs. In the realm of the headspace, Ten of Swords, letting go of something finally is what Spirit is saying. And I like this rendition of the card because this is the mythic tarot deck. So all of the cards are based on different myths, and the suits themselves are based on full stories. So this is the story of Orestes, a poor, unfortunate child who was just caught up in a battle and an old grudge between gods. And so in this version, the very end of the story, Athena comes in to protect Orestes from being tortured by the three Furies, because he had to make a terrible decision. He had a no-win situation on his hands. He didn't win, but Athena came to say, this actually wasn't your fault. And the sun is beginning to rise in the background. The dawn is breaking. His torture is ending. So a feeling of being, Spirit is showing me a cat's cradle. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That game, that old school game people used to play with yarn. And they're showing me like someone strung up in the cat's cradle. So for some of you who've been feeling strung up, hung up, it's finally like someone snips the strings. And, when someone snips the strings, there might be an initial feeling of collapse, but then you're free. Do you know what I'm talking about, Sagittarius? Because Spirit is saying that very clearly. Your strings might get cut, but then you're free. You're a real boy or girl, or they, them. You are real. And something may come to an end, but Spirit is like, it's merciful. And just to come back to endings, in the emotional realm, Five of Cups, there is a feeling of a loss. But again, the communication of this version of the Five of Cups, there is still a cup standing. Something is gone. Something is over, and it's like irrevocable. It's irreplaceable. It's done. The world, completion. Ten of Swords, done. Completion, over. The milk has spilled. But you're not all out of milk. The milk of human kindness, the milk of love, right? it is not gone. And it would be to your disadvantage to focus exclusively on what is not working. The Page of Cups is enamored with their cup that is so full and beautiful. So please remember to keep your full cup with you and to keep filling it. You fill it by being kind to yourself. You fill it by staying connected to yourself. Now, the other thing about this version of the Five of Cups, and the reason they show us that one cup is still full, she is pursuing her godly husband who is fleeing in the night because she broke one of the conditions of their relationship. But if you were to finish the story, if you were to come all the way to the Ten of Cups, you will see that not only do they come back together, they are able to come back together seeing each other fully, seeing each other each in their wholeness, not with conditions. Unconditional love. So if you lost some form of conditional love, or if you are mourning that you couldn't be the person this person wanted, or vice versa, please know that your cups will be refilled. Take the time that you need to stand over your spilled cups and mourn them, but know that in the end, they will be refilled and you will get new cups. As a matter of fact, you'll be wishing that why can't these 5 cups still be full, when in the end you'll be surprised how 10 cups can show up and be more than you ever thought possible. So remember, things happen in arcs and cycles. This is not the end. That's just what Spirit is saying. So whatever you're afraid of is like, this is not the end of the positive aspects of this. 10 of Swords, the torturous part is over, but the love will return. Now, the World, 10 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles, like these completion, edge of completion with the 9. And then you have 10 of Wands. So I feel like for a lot of you, there is like you finish a project or you come to a finish line on something this week, or it's like you're on the edge of that. Don't burn yourself out. Like, that World card gives me a good feeling. Some of you might be 10 of Swords, might just be like, oof, ooh, I did everything that I could. I took it as far as I could. I dropped it off, and like now I'm done and I can sleep for 3 days. Like I've come a really long fucking way, and now I just need to come down, right? And for some of you, there is the potential of overwhelming yourself. Don't take it all on. It would be unlike a Sagittarius to try to take everything on and hold it inside. But don't do that. Trying to take too many things on is going to, like, ironically, it's like your golden fleece, the thing that you want, the completion of your journey is so close, just like it is so close to this person, but they are so surrounded by all of the tasks that they can't even enjoy this. So, what are we working for? Let's make sure that whatever it is we're working for, we actually give ourselves the opportunity to enjoy what we've created, even among that which might have had to ultimately go away. Don't overburden yourself, and it's not over. Everything happens in cycles and wavelengths. If you feel a little down this week, don't worry. There's always an upward after the down, and vice versa. So it's like, enjoy the up, because the up goes down and then up again and so on. Life is not a mountain peak, and neither is it a flat line. Like, so be where you are fully. Don't avoid it. Don't avoid it, and don't get tunnel vision. Okay? Okay. I hope that that helps, Sagittarius. And as always, if you know what this is about, or if you have reflections or questions or stories, I would love to hear them. I appreciate you. And now let's talk to Capricorn. My cardinal earth friends, mountain goat buddies, spirit. What is the overall energy or theme this week for my Capricorn people? What do Capricorn folks need to know for their highest good? What kind of energy and climate are they interacting with this week? Beautiful. Okay, and how is Capricorn themselves showing up? What is Capricorn's persona looking like this week? And how do you encourage them to behave for their highest good this week? What aspects or qualities of Capricorn do you want to highlight? Your innocence, your sweetness, the part that we don't always talk about. Talk about it though. Just need a few more. Spirit. I want to look at Capricorn's money, their work, projects, budgets. What does Capricorn need to know about their resources this week for their highest good? Okay. And what about their headspace? Thoughts, words, communications, the realm of their mind. Spirit, what does Capricorn need to know about their headspace this week? Revelations. Okay. And what about their heart space? The realm of emotions, relationships. For Capricorn spirit, what do they need to know for their highest good when it comes to the realm of relationships? Beautiful. And finally, how is Capricorn's fire this week? How is it showing up? Where is it being directed? Wow. Okay. You're doing great. You're doing great, Capricorn. Okay. Excuse me. So, overall theme and energy for this week, the star. There is more hope than you know. There is more opportunity and magic ahead of you that you know. You're walking through the dark right now, Capricorn, but the star will guide you. So, it's not the sun. It's not, I know exactly what to do and I can see where all of the obstacles are, and so I can run full tilt toward whatever this is. No. The stars are always present, but we can only see them when it is dark outside. So, what is your North Star? What is one principle or one value that you have so much faith in that you know if I move toward that, I'm always on the right track? So, for example, if I am always moving in the name of love, I'm always going to be on the right track. Or if I'm moving with authenticity, I'm always on the right track, even if obstacles come up, even if I get a little detoured, I'm always on the right path. Do you know what I'm saying? Just because I'm on a detour doesn't mean I'm not on path. As long as I'm following my North Star. Now, for some of you, Spirit is talking about your North Node. That is a point in your birth chart. So if any of you know astrology, or you have an app, or you can go to a website and like look at a free birth chart, do any of that. And what is your North Node? Everybody has a North Node and a South Node. North Node is our growth edge, the direction in which we ought to be moving. Spirit hasn't said that every time I brought up the star. They're saying it for you, Capricorn. So where is your North Node? What sign is it in? What house is it in? If I'm sounds like I'm speaking another language, you can Google this and read up on it, or you can book an appointment with Madeline the Village, which will tell you all about it. Past lives, future. Okay. So where are you going? Where is your growth edge? You want to be moving toward, again, I'm hearing like that sign in that house. So it's like if you have North Node in Cancer, you want to be moving toward nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, getting into like, what am I sensitive about? How are my feelings? But if your North Node were, for example, in Capricorn, it'd be like, okay, move toward success, achievement, whatever. Let me know. If you look it up and you find out what your North Node is, share it in the comments. I would be happy to give you a little bit of insight. How about that? Okay. Beautifully paired with the overall energy and theme for the week, you come through as the innocent, sweet, open-hearted Page of Cups. This is a very loving Page of Cuppy energy. A lot of people have pulled this card this week. So the Page of Cups is a student, a child, an open heart. It doesn't mean that you are acting childish. It means that your best approach this week is to be open, is to be so open as to make maybe other people would say, oh, you're naive, or oh, you're being silly. Like, oh, that's wishful thinking. Well, bitch, I'm gonna make a fucking wish upon a star, ho, and we're gonna see what the fuck happens. And when you reach out, when you ask for what it is that you want or need, and I mean literally, it's like for some of you, they're showing me you putting on your fucking like social media. It's like, I'm looking for a blank, or I would really like to blank, and or I'm looking for this kind of job, or I'm looking for this kind of fun, or whatever. People respond. Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles. Here in the realm of money and projects, here in the realm of emotions. So what do these have in common? They involve bringing in collaborators. It's like you have something really good on your own, and if you bring in other people who have different perspectives and skills, that thing can grow much faster, grow much bigger. You know, it's like if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, build together, have fun, enjoy, share it together. Um, Love shared, love multiplied, burden shared, burden divided. So don't hold it all in. Don't do it all by yourself. Be open. Page of Cups. Hello. Be innocent. Be available. Um, be open even to the idea that, like, I don't know everything. The Star is like, hey, there might be a surprise coming your way, a surprise restoration of your faith. Or like, wow, I really like I even made fun of myself for being, for making that wish and wishing for something so outrageous or so big, and then surprise when, and this is how Spirit is putting it, is when this like little version or this small or earthly version of this big thing that I wanted comes in. So for example, I make a wish that, like, God, why can't you just send me $1 million check? Ha ha ha. I'm being silly, but I really want it, right? But then that week you get $150 check that you weren't expecting and you had no whatever. It's kind of like, let me not ignore or talk myself out of the fact that I wished for something and a version of it was able to come to me. And if I were able to expand my innocence, my belief, I wonder what could happen the next time I wish. You know what I'm saying? When wanting to not be silly or not be incorrect or not get caught looking stupid doesn't choke the channel that allows wishes and manifestations and synchronicities to come through. You know what I'm talking about? People, friends, collaborators are available to you this week. Let them help you. It will be a step up. That's what Spirit is saying, is let them bring in, this could even look like, if you're a writer, bringing in someone to edit. Just like, have another look, give me another perspective, bring in another set of eyes. A miracle can happen. That's what Spirit just said. A miracle can happen. So what would seem miraculous to you? That again, it's like, I would wish for that. In my wildest dreams, this would happen. In the realm of your headspace, revelation, clarity, the ability to move forward, like, okay, cut through the bullshit. This is what's really happening. This is the truth. This is, when I clear the clouds out of the way, I can see this. That's this. Clear the table is something Spirit is saying, like clear the decks, like clear the slate and start again. Like, okay, the Star, this other way of doing it wasn't, pardon me, this other way of doing it wasn't working. I'm going to clear the slate. I'm going to get together with a couple of my genius, wonderful, kind friends and collaborators, and together we'll fill the slate again. When I invite in love and miracles, Spirit is talking about, Spirit's talking about your funnel, okay? You can think of this as your crown chakra. Same thing. We all have the ability to channel from Spirit. This is a firm belief of mine. Some of us are better at it than others. You can even be born and like be a natural, the same way one could be a natural, like, oh, you have the body for running track, right? So one person could be just a natural at running track, and it's just like, wow, you're just built for this, etc., and you do great. You don't even have to try very hard. Another person could have a completely different body type, but they fucking love running long distance and track, right? They can get to the level of, or perhaps even surpass, the person who might be a natural because they're willing to put the work into it. Everybody has the capacity to be intuitive. Everybody has the capacity to create and summon synchronicities. And the same as manifestation, right? So, your funnel. If your funnel is kind of tight and is like, I want this one job. I saw this one job on that website and I want this job, and I want this money, and I need it now, please. It's like the funnel is tight to let something come in. But if you're like, I am looking to work in this type of environment, I would love to have these kinds of experiences, and I would love to make this type of money, and I would be willing to learn and adapt to whatever it is where those parameters could be filled. That opens your fucking funnel for like all the number of like different arrangements of things that could make that happen. So don't be too fixated on like it's this. Don't be too fixated. Miracles happen, and especially when you gather up with other people and allow different like energies and thoughts and emotions to mix up and coalesce, and it's like, y'all do it like this. And that's what Spirit is saying. So share. Now, your energy, it's abundant. That's the good news. Now, the other side is you might be feeling a little combative. You might be feeling like you're coming up against a lot and you're kind of having to cover a lot of ground or cover a lot of bases. The good news is you have what it takes. And the other thing is, I feel like fighting is not the best way to spend your energy. I feel more like stand your ground. Let other people bring the fight to you, if anything. You know what I mean? And then I see you seriously, like Spirit is showing me somebody fighting with a bow staff. Like it's cartoon style, right? And there's like a line of people coming with their own swords and bow staffs and things to like fight them. And it's like this person holding it out bored and like smacking it so that it starts spinning, and it's like everybody is running up to it and it just keeps like knocking them out of the fucking place. So just hold your ground, stand your ground, know that you know what you're doing, be open to help from your fellow collaborators, and I think you will move forward fiercely when you know what to do. And ironically, you're not gonna like, you have to not know what to do before you know what to do. That sounds really dumb, but Spirit is saying be open to the fact that you don't know everything, and then suddenly it's like, oh, this is so much a better decision or solution or option than what I had in my mind before because my funnel was like this big. Okay? Okay. I hope that that is helpful to you, Capricorn. I would love to hear if you know what this is about, if this is already coming up for you, if you got stories, comments, questions, let me know. Or again, if you go and look at your North Node, let me know what house and what sign it's in. I'll tell you a little bit about yourself. Okay, now let's talk to Aquarius. Ooh, my Aquarian friends, family, my water bearers, sun, moon, rising, and dominant Aquarius people. Spirit, I want to know what the overall theme or energy is coming up for Aquarius this week. What kind of energy are they dealing with? And what do you want them to know about it for their highest good? Okay? And how is Aquarius themselves showing up? Page, Knight, Queen, King, Earth, Air, Fire, Water, Spirit. What do you want to share with Aquarius about how they are showing up? How can they interact with this theme or this energy for their highest good? Huh. Well, you're in your element, Aquarius. Okay. We'll talk about it in just a second. First, we got to look at your money. Money, resources, jobs, projects. Spirit, what does Aquarius need to know about their coin? Okay. Curious right off the bat if any of you have Capricorn placements. Let me know, please and thank you. Okay, what about their headspace, Spirit? The headspace of Aquarius. What is the quality of their thoughts this week? Beautiful. Okay. And what about emotionally? The realm of the heart, love, feelings, relationships. What does Aquarius need to know for their highest good? The realm of relationships and feelings, the realm of the heart. What's going on in Aquarius's heart this week? Okay. And finally, where is their fire? How is their energy looking and how is it being directed this week? Spirit, what do you want to share with Aquarius about their inner creativity, energy, spirituality, their highest good? How can they direct their fire to their highest good? I see new adventure. Let's talk about Aquarius. So, overall energy and theme for this week, judgment. Spirit is saying wake up call. Spirit is saying revelation. Like, this is just what's happening. This is just what's true. Now what? Like, fuck this job, or fuck this person, or fuck this relationship, or I'm addicted to blank, or like I need to go to blank. Like, it's a calling. That's what Spirit is saying too. It's like a calling. It's a wake up call. It's an alarm. It's a reset, is another word that I'm hearing. And you, Aquarius, are showing up in your element, a page of swords, a messenger of swords. Now, I'm not too worried about this, but I'm just going to say it because it is associated with the page of swords. I would say, Aquarius, just be careful with your words. Be careful with like just blurting something out because you might end up causing change and ruffling feathers that maybe you didn't want to or didn't intend to. Because pages can be a little bit immature and a little bit quick. Like they don't necessarily think through what will happen if I go off on this person. You may even be right, but you want to calculate how you send your message. There's the potential to put your message in a way that doesn't necessarily get like it won't necessarily have the effect that you want it to. So spend some time with your messaging. Don't blurt it out. Okay? I think if you do that, you're going to be fine. The rest of these cards are pretty great. I don't see a lot of potential for trouble. You might, Spirit is saying, clear the air. You might end up clearing the air with somebody, or I mean, that could be what this blurting out is about. Is like, what the fuck is happening here? Why are you acting weird? That's kind of what I'm hearing. Is like almost like you reaching out to somebody, being like, why are you acting so weird? And then being like, the fuck, me weird? You're being weird. Like, feels a little bit like that. Where it's like it's not a big bad thing. It's like a confusion or a misunderstanding, and it feels like with a little bit of like patience and self-reflection, that could turn out well instead of like a little frizzen of bullshittery or dumbassery, like unnecessary miscommunication. So, in the realm of money, budgets, projects, it's growing. It's growing. Things are trending in a good direction. That is something that Spirit is saying. And also, Aquarius, you would probably benefit from bringing in some different perspectives from people with different skill sets. So this could look a couple different ways. This could look like if you are a writer, it could look like hiring an editor or asking like a smart friend to have a look at what it is you've written. Or it could look like, hey, I'm not great with my money. I need to get together with like my friend who's really good with money, or I need to literally set up, a meeting with a financial advisor. It's like whether you do it casually or you do it like actually engaging professional help, it's getting somebody to bring in their expertise to have a look at what it is you're doing, help you tweak it or build it or increase it or whatever. So if you've needed some professional assistance, reach out for whatever that is. It looks really fucking good for multiple reasons. You got a couple different threes here. You've got 2 3s and you've got 2 4s. So something is in initial stages and has a lot of fucking potential. Okay, headspace, Aquarius, love to see it. This does look like you. 4 of Swords is calm. It's clear. It's getting your thoughts in order. It's also a card for recovery and like literally like laying in like bed rest. So some of you, with this Page of Swords being connected, you might want to journal about this judgment, this revelation, this calling that you might be feeling, or this kind of like incessant, like Spirit is literally playing the sound of like old school alarms in my head, where it's like, you can't hit snooze. Like you can, but it's going to come back on. And really that's what they're saying. He's like, you can hit snooze, and that's something that this person might do a lot. Is like, oh fuck that, I don't want to quit this substance, or I don't want to leave this job, or I don't want to dump this person, or whatever it is. Like, it's going to be different for different Aquarians. These are general readings, okay? It's like, I don't want to snooze, I don't want to snooze, I don't want to snooze. At some point, you're gonna, spirit's like, you're gonna break that fucking snooze button, and then it's just gonna be and you're gonna have no choice but to wake up. I feel like this would be a good time to just go ahead and choose to stop hitting snooze and go ahead and get up out of the bed. With Four of Swords, they're talking about journaling out your thoughts. So if, as a Page of Swords and as an air sign, if that sounds like a little too slow, then pull out your phone and hit, record on the voice memo or record on video or whatever, and talk yourself through this. Dump out and say everything that you need to say. There is something that happens when you're like having a dialogue with yourself versus just letting your internal monologue, like your thoughts just go. You stay in the same ruts if you keep it in your head. But if you turn it into a dialogue with yourself, voice memo, your journal, a trusted friend, or a trusted even mentor, like they were talking about, or professional help of whatever variety, you're going to come to new conclusions. You're going to gain new clarity. You're going to create space for new things to happen. That's just what they're saying. Now, Four of Cups, like this is part of the reason with the Four of Cups, seeing that with the Page of Swords, is like, watch your words. You might say something that's a little petty or a little unnecessary, and that might like not get you what you want in the end. Like Spirit is talking about, is like, oh, that might not be the best approach if what you're trying to get is this person back into your life, or if what you're trying to get is a better relationship at work with this person, whatever this is. Snapping isn't going to be the best thing. But Four of Cups says you're pretty fucking bored and disenchanted, and like the temptation to just kick over these cups is strong. That's what Spirit is saying. Now the Four of Cups is a card that does indicate that disenchantment and that boredom, but it also indicates that like there is a blessing that is available and actually quite present. It's not even like, oh, it's coming. It's like it is somewhere in your vicinity, but your eyes might be down on your insecurities, your doubts, your worries, instead of up on what is trying to come into your life. Which is another reason that I think engaging with friends or collaborators or that professional help or perspective can help you sort out what is real from what is a self-protective mechanism. That's just what they're saying. And finally, when it comes to your energy, when I said revelations and new adventures, Three of Wands is setting your foot down on a new path, a new, more expansive path. Some of you are looking for a new job, and it feels like either you get an interview or you get like a yes, and it's like, off I go. Or some of you are just putting it out there. I'm trying to go on a new adventure. Three of Wands is expanding your horizons. It's just the beginning. It's like the Three of Pentacles, where it's like, it's just the beginning, but this has a ton of fucking potential. How far do you want it to go? How tall do you want it to grow? Spirit being very Dr. Seussian right now. What direction do you want your life to grow in? They're asking you to reflect on that this week. It is, we're coming up on Sagittarius season. We're coming up on like the season of kind of like philosophical concerns. And I think this may even be, forgive me if my math isn't right, but if you're an Aquarius rising, it's like your 11th house, the house of like long-term goals, is being highlighted by the sun right now. And that's what Spirit is saying to me. So it's like, where do I want to go in life? I'm waking up right now. What am I realizing? What do I want to set in motion, and what do I want to clear away so that that motion can go unencumbered? You're coming back to life. You're coming back to life, and new things want to come in. Make space for them, okay? Okay. I hope that that is helpful to you, Aquarius, and I would love to hear if you have any reflections on that, or what it means to you, or questions, anything you got. It really helps. I appreciate you. And finally, let's talk to Pisces. My mutable water friends, patient Pisces. God bless timestamps, huh? Okay, Spirit. Want to tune in first to what is the overall energy or theme showing up for my Pisces people this week. Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising, and even Neptune dominant people. Beautiful, okay. And how is Pisces showing up? Spirit, Page, Knight, Queen, King, Earth, Air, Fire, Water. How is Pisces interacting with the overall energy, and what do you want to guide them to show up with their highest good? What kinds of characteristics? Pisces showing very Piscean energy. Okay, curious right off the bat if any of you have Aries placements, Alpha and Omega. We've come right back to the beginning of the spread. Very curious. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so Spirit, what is it looking like for Pisces in the realm of money? Money, work, projects, resources. What do you want to share with Pisces for their highest good this week, their greatest shot at fulfillment, abundance, ease? Gorgeous. Okay. And what about their headspace, the mental realm for Pisces? Thoughts, communications, what kind of words? Okay. And what about emotionally, Spirit? The emotional realm for Pisces, the realm of the heart and relationships. What is showing up for Pisces? The realm of the heart. What do they need to know this week for their highest good? Gorgeous. And finally, what about their energy? Spirit. How is Pisces' energy and fire being directed this week? Okay, I need one more. Tell me just a little bit more, Spirit, about Pisces and their fire. Confidence. I'm hearing the word confidence so strong. Love to see it. Hey, let's just jump right there. Overall energy and theme for the week. And then we look right over here at your energy and fire for the week. Same person, world in your hands. Love to see it. Okay, so the Emperor, you are on top of things. What are your rules, Pisces? How is your life organized? Are you doing the things that you need to do to get where you want to go? Are you laying the groundwork that is going to take you as high or as far or as deep as it is you want to go? You have the power this week. It's like Spirit is saying your mind and body are working together beautifully. Like these quote unquote masculine principles, right? Like your wands and your swords, as opposed to your cups and your pentacles, which would be considered quote unquote feminine or receptive or yin, which I prefer to say. It's like we can say masculine, feminine, but then we get into all the gender shit. So it's like yin, receptive, lunar, yang, active, solar. Okay. So your yang, your solar energy, super fucking strong, super can do energy. Very much like I can go out and get what it is that I want, or I can sit down and build whatever I want. Now, beautifully, a balance to that, you come through as the Knight of Cups, as you so often do. The sweetheart, the suitor, the open-hearted pursuer. Knight of Cups, knights are agents of change. So a change and a shift and growth in the realm of emotions. Who are you invested in? Who and what are you invested in? What has your heart? That's what Spirit is saying. And yes, they are talking about, like, you know, this could be romantic, this could be friends, etc. But they're also talking about, I mean, the Emperor is your overall theme and the energy for the week. So it's like, what project or cause or way of living has your heart? Move with that. Move where your heart is guiding you to move. I don't have to belabor that with Pisces, but I feel like some of you may be reaching out, and some of you may have others reach out to you in kind. And Spirit is saying that it's kind of like a Mobius strip situation, or like a Um, like a magnet. Now they're singing that song, "You Are a Magnet, I Am Steel." There's mutual motion toward. So you might be thinking about somebody and then they reach out to you, or vice versa. That's what Spirit is saying for some of you. So in the realm of money, work, projects, you're growing, growing, growing. Feels like you are growing your skills, feels like you are growing your money, feels like you are very devoted. Big Knight of Cups energy, very devoted to your craft or your skill or whatever this is that you are working on. So, of course, we all have, or most of us have, like a job, right? Like something we have to do to pay the bills. For a lucky few of us, that is our joy and our passion, and like that, our work, lowercase work, is also our capital W great work, right? But for some of us, we have that job, and then we have the thing we really love and the thing we are really invested in and want to continue to grow in for the rest of our lives. Like for some of us, that could look like, yeah, I'm never going to, be a carpenter, but I do love to go into my garage and do my woodworking. Like that is where I love growing my skills there. That's what gets me excited, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's what they're talking about, is like, what is your joy and your craft and your trade and your passion? Maybe it's job, maybe it's not. Whatever it is that feels like this is growing, this is healthy, this is full of potential, put some of your time and attention there this week. Grow that skill. It's like some of you have signed up for a class or have said, like, I want to start doing blah, blah, blah. Put your effort and time into it. It has lots and lots and lots of potential. So, what are you an apprentice at? That is like, I am working toward that mastery level. Put your work in. Looks good. Don't get stuck in your head. There is the potential to get stuck in your head, Pisces. I'm glad that you're not showing up as like a Knight of Swords or a Page of Swords, because then that would imply you're really operating up here as well. So because you're a Knight of Cups, I will say, if you start to get stuck in your head, drop back into your heart. If you start to get stuck in your head, which way should I go? Which thing should I do? Is this okay or not? Drop into your heart and ask your heart what it thinks. Okay? And, the other side of that, like Spirit talked about your mind and body working together, if dropping into your heart feels, for whatever reason, for certain Pisceans, if that feels difficult or like, I don't even know how to do that, drop into your body. How does my body feel when I think about making this decision? Pisces has the amazing gift to be able to, like, basically just jump into new dimensions. Like, if I do this, this will happen. And if what happens if I do this? Let me peek into that dimension, and then you can see really, oh, this is how this would play out. Drop into your heart. You get confused, you get caught up, drop into your heart or drop into your body and get their feedback. Okay. Wishes come true this week. 9 of Cups. You're the Emperor, you got the Knight of Cups, and now you have this wishes coming true. And very much this is a card of self satisfaction. Emotionally feeling very fulfilled, feeling like I'm so lucky. That's what Spirit is showing me, is a lot of Pisces people walking around like, I'm so lucky. And they may be at wildly different places in life, all of these Pisces, but what they have in common is, like, when they drop into their heart, even if where they are is surrounded with turmoil or going through not the best of times, there is something there to be grateful for when they drop into their heart. It's like, wow, but I'm, as much as this is so hard and difficult what I'm going through right now, I have never been more conscious and connected than I am right now. And that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm talking about? And I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of unmitigated joy. Unmitigated joy, because these are all really beautiful cards. The Two of Swords is the only static here. And that's just saying, don't get stuck in your head and don't start thinking that the only way to figure out the right choice is to analyze. That's not where you do your best work. Into the heart, into the body. And when it comes to your fire, your courage, your light, your excitement, your passion, you are getting lit. You have the beginning of something amazing. This could be very much connected to, what is it that gets me excited to get out of bed and go work on? I may not be excited to get up and go to my 9 to 5 job, but maybe I get really excited when I go outside and practice rollerblading, or I work on that painting that has nothing to do with ever making me any money or whatever, but it's just like, but this is a craft that I love and adore, or I love to work out, or I love to whatever. The spark is there. If you put the earth, the substance, the support underneath and around this fire, it's like a hearth. It's like it can warm your house, it can cook your food, it can light your way. There are so many things that this light, this excitement, this inspiration, this passion, this idea inside of you is capable of creating if you will put the foundations underneath it. You know, Thoreau. I will paraphrase that Thoreau said, "Don't worry if you've built castles in the sky. Just go ahead and put those foundations underneath them." So you don't need to make your dreams smaller. You need to be the emperor and be like, okay, so that's my dream. Let me build the unsexy, unglamorous steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to that big, glorious, glamorous, sexy goal. You can have your dream. Put your foundations underneath those castles in the sky, and it will be yours. I hope that that is helpful to you, Pisces, and to anybody else who has stuck around and listened to this whole thing. Thank you so much. It really fucking means the world. And I hope you will like this video if you like it, subscribe if you vibe, and I will see you in next week's reading. Bye-bye.